Hi, welcome everyone who's watching. We have this lovely couple with us today, Ritika and Ankit. They've just had their baby about 3 weeks back. Just wanted to hear from them about their story and their experience.
Sure. So I think like initial first like 4 or 5 months we didn't think about it a lot. We were very happy that we were like having a baby, and I mean initially there was some anxiety and also some amount of happiness, but then around like fourth, 5th month we started thinking about how we wanted our birthing experience to be. And I think like COVID had been around since March last year. So I was in Jaipur at that point in time. Like we were with our parents because we were working from home. Um, and I think like the more I spoke to the care providers in Jaipur, the more I realized that because of COVID, um they had changed a lot of their processes. They were planning to induce people at like 38, 39 weeks. And I always had a preference to have as natural a birthing process as possible. And it didn't feel like COVID was that big a deal in order to like sort of um, change the way that I would want this process to go. So I think at that point in time, like I started talking to a lot of people, and then somebody recommended Neha. And I think like from that point in time, it was an immense help to reach out to you, Neha, and basically get a lot of information about birthing, like COVID. How do we choose a care provider? We in fact changed our care providers twice after that. So like once we moved to Gurgaon, and then like the care provider that we had, like I had a small complication. I had a slightly lower AFI towards the end of my pregnancy, and she wanted to induce me again at 38 weeks. So I decided to change my care provider again at week 37. And I think like the only constant through all of this was Neha. And I was just like, I would just keep pinging her ki, yaar, like this is happening, is this okay, like, and I would just keep getting reassurance. And she would keep sharing examples with me ki, yaar, this has happened with other people before, so don't worry about it, it's all normal. And like you can still have the kind of birth that you imagined. And I think all of that was super duper helpful, and eventually I had a great birthing experience. Very happy with it.
I think in the beginning it was definitely not easy. I think I was also learning on how to provide the right support at the right time. But I think like in the first 3, 4, 5 months, we actually were very lucky. There were no restrictions from the doctors. We were able to continue our lifestyle pretty much what it was before, before the pregnancy. So we were active, we were exercising, we were moving around. At that time, while COVID was there, but I think it was still much more manageable. So we were able to meet people. I think we also took 1 or 2 short trips to make sure that we are able to to make the most of the time. Um, but I think once we started getting close to fifth month, sixth month, I think we started realizing that there are a few things which are important to us. And I think Ritika obviously led the charge there. She was very clear in her head on how does she want to imagine and want the real birthing experience to be. And then we just and I think she pretty much did all the research. She pretty much spoke to a lot of people, read a lot of things, bounced off the as much information towards me as much as possible. And I think the best I could do at that point of time was listening to her, like why is it important to her and why does it matter. Also, going through all the information that she was sharing with me, so that I was also on the same page, both from a factual point of view as well as that emotional need point of view. And third, just arranging and just ensuring that she feels as if whatever decision we take, we will figure it out how to do that. Right? I mean, if you wanted to change the care provider, if you wanted to move cities, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of a few weeks here or there, but we'll figure it out. We'll get it done. It doesn't really matter. Um,
Absolutely. And I think that is what is the role of that companionship. It is not that you need to know anything or you need to take charge. She is doing that. But having that support, having you understanding what she wants and why is she making these choices, then supporting those choices is what makes all the difference.
I think absolutely. Like Ankit was so well prepared for the labor process. Like we had a really good midwife with us at the hospital that we were birthing at, but even she like stepped back. She was like, oh, Ankit is supporting her really well. He knows what to do. So like, I'll just stand here and observe. I don't need to do anything. So I think like it was a huge help to do the Lamaze classes. One, it helped us understand what the pregnancy process and closer to labor, what does it look like, and actually go through the labor. So I think like my labor was, I don't know, I guess everybody's like is different, but basically it started for it happened for 2 nights. It would just happen at night, and then like it would stop in the morning. So basically for the first 2 days it happened at night. I didn't do anything. Like we didn't I just spoke to you, Neha, and I was like, "Ki, theek hai, matlab, right now it doesn't seem like active labor, so I should just stay at home." And then the third day, it started again at 3 p.m. and then it went on throughout the night. Then at like 4 5 a.m., we decided to go to the hospital, because it was in Delhi. We were staying in Gurgaon, and I was like, I think after this point in time, I won't be able to sit in the car for an hour and travel, so we should just go there. Even there, they asked us to sort of walk around for 3 4 hours and then come back. So we did that, and Ankit was super supportive. And I think like just like doing those classes and having that confidence that like I don't need to go to the hospital the moment something happens. In fact, I think Neha, you'd also recommended that for the initial part of the labor, I should not even discuss it with anybody at home. So like the first night I didn't say anything to anyone. My mother-in-law was here, and I didn't share anything for the first 2 days because I knew that if I shared anything with her, she would be like, you guys need to go to the hospital now and get yourself checked. But I knew that there was like it was just a normal process that was happening, and I just needed to wait it out. Like I was keeping a close count of the baby's movements. Basically, I think just like having done those classes, we had a lot of confidence that everything will be all right. And then we went to the hospital at like 5 a.m. We walked around for 3 4 hours, and I think the next time the doctor checked me, I was like 6 centimeters dilated already. And after that, the process was fairly smooth. I think like the moment I would reach the hospital, my contractions would just stop. So I'm glad that I waited at home. Otherwise, I think I would have had to go through a lot of interventions.
I think for me the experience was definitely overwhelming, but like I think it was all, at the end it felt it was all worth it. So it started at home. We were expecting, we were in the 39th week, 38. We were in the 39th week, so we knew that we were in the end zone, and it can start at some point of time. So when Ritika started getting some labor pains, we discussed that let's not tell anybody, let's just manage it, and as long as it's manageable, let's stay home. In fact, we actually went to the hospital once just to get just to get checked out, and they sent us back that there's still time. You were, I think, just one finger or two finger dilated, so just wait it out at home. So I think that's where the choice of the care provider also mattered a lot, because they actually were on the same page as us that just because you're here doesn't matter that doesn't mean that you have to be here. You should wait it out another 24 hours, 36 hours at home. So we came back, and I think all the labor went through, and I think Ritika was going through a lot of pain, but she managed to just walk around, be a little bit active, tried a lot of positions on the ball, on the floor. She was in, I was agonizing pain at that point of time. At least that felt agonizing. We didn't know what was to come. And we walked around for a couple of hours in the middle of the night, and then came back, and then they finally let her in. And both of us had not slept for like almost 36 hours at that point of time. So we just like zonked off in the labor room for like an hour or so. And then we both woke up slightly refreshed, and then said that, okay, let's restart. I think she was also feeling a bit more relaxed. I was also feeling a bit more relaxed. And then she started having contractions again. And then when they measured, it was 6 centimeters dilated. And then the real fun began. So I think then the real contraction started, and I think, and then everybody around us sprung into action. I was trying to be there, making sure that I was trying to hold her hand, but like her grip had become significantly stronger during those few hours. And like I used to wear a wedding ring, but I'm glad I took it off before. Uh, Otherwise, she would have crushed it for sure. But I think like seeing her in pain, but still fighting uh, to do that on her own, I think gave me a lot of strength. And I think all the care providers around us were also very supportive. So while I was trying to be her strength, I think she was also in part providing a lot of strength to us and confidence that yes, she can do it, we can all do it. And I think towards the last 2.5 hours, where it was actually pushing, I think she was in a lot of pain, but she continued to do that. And when I first saw that head, or the first hint of hair, um, and I was like, I think, I think it suddenly started becoming very real. Till
Yes.
that time, it was all about her. Suddenly, I started seeing somebody else also, and then I think that stayed for 30 minutes, and then in a quick motion, like the entire baby, like the entire body came out, and I think that was just crazy. I think she couldn't see the baby as soon as he came out. I could, and she kept yelling, is it a boy? Is it a girl? Tell me, tell me. And I was also trying to find out what it is. And then I think I did tell her that it's a boy, but I think she couldn't hear. And I think they just like took the baby and put it on Ritika, and I think I definitely cried a little at that point of time, but uh, it was definitely a very very emotional moment.
And
Yeah.
it is such an incredible experience to have. How many times in your life do you get that opportunity to be there to see your child being born? And are probably your parents' generation and before that, the dads were never there, and they didn't have that connection with that moment the way you got to. So that's amazing. Ritika, tell us what kept you going.
I like the last 2 3 hours. I don't remember a lot. I just remember being in a zone, and I was like, sure, something is happening, and like I just need to do this. We like I think you had mentioned that we should like do some activity, and we should basically decorate our labor room with some motivational quotes, etc. So we had a nice corner prepared there, and I think I was just looking at that, and I was just reading that your body can do this, and I was just getting a lot of confidence. And I think Ankit being there, like just holding my hand, uh, it just kept me going. And I think like, I mean, I guess just knowing that the baby is coming out. And I think at one point in time when we started seeing the hair, the midwife also showed me the baby's hair in a mirror. So I think then I was like, now it's happening. And like,
These are actually small things, but they are very powerful.
we had the baby at about 6:40, and I think at around 4:30 I was like, Ankit, should I take some pain medication? I'm not able to manage it. And then Ankit and the midwife were there, and they were like, no, you're doing so well, like you don't need anything. And I think like after that point I just didn't think about it. So I think like just them saying that I'm doing fine and everything will be all right made a lot of difference.
Tell us a little bit about right after the birth. What was it like? The moment you held the baby, what was the golden hour like?
It was like very like I was very overwhelmed. I couldn't think about. I was just holding the baby's hand, and I was like, I don't know, like is this some person that has like we have made this person? Like I was very overwhelmed, and I was just like very confused. I think Ankit was like there. I don't remember much. Like I just held the baby's hand. The baby latched on. Like we did some feeding, and I think I don't remember much after that.
Okay, and what about the concern of giving birth at the time when there's COVID all around, and what did that play on your mind, and how did you deal with that?
I mean, we were a bit worried, but I think I always believed that one, like I knew that COVID does not impact babies, especially in the womb, and even outside. If COVID does happen to kids, like it's not, it's basically fairly manageable. I spoke to the care provider as well, and I think I read a few articles, and I had a lot of confidence that I have a strong immunity. So even if I get it, like I'll be fine. And Ankit and his family had already had COVID. Like everybody had COVID earlier, and I did not get it then. So I also had, I don't know, maybe false sense of security that, oh, maybe like I just won't get it.
I think it was also a function of, I think, two, three other things, right? One is, it's out of your control. I mean, the timing is out of your control. So when you need to have the baby, and if there's COVID out there is COVID out there. I mean, there is no benefit to panicking around it. The best thing you can do is prepare yourself, make sure that you're taking all the precautions, and you can't control the timing, you can't control the care. You can only look at the best care provider, get a feeling of confidence in that, and then hand over that trust. I think beyond that, I mean, obviously you'll have to continue to take as many precautions as you can. Make sure that,
At home, we were taking a lot of precautions,
I
but
mean,
like,
even at home,
yeah.
even at hospital, make sure that you have the mask on, make sure that you have, a hand sanitizer all the time, and all of those things. But beyond a certain point of time, or certain certain point, there is very little you control. So I think one other thing that hospital guys did is, I mean, since the delivery was pretty normal and there were no complications, I think they said that they actually discharged us within 24 hours. They said that there is no need to stay in the hospital, and let's minimize all the exposure. So I think that's also something that they did, and something I think most hospitals will be open to if they are not already.
Okay, wonderful. Do you want to share something about your postpartum experience? A lot of people think that everything culminates with the birth, but that's actually just the beginning. So tell us a little bit about how it's been for you over the last 3 weeks. How have you dealt with it? Yeah.
I think it is challenging. Like initially, I could not figure out how to feed. Like I think for the first couple of days, I just couldn't latch the baby myself. Like initially in the hospital, the nurses and all were helping me, but the moment I reached home, I was like, shit, how will I do this? I really can't figure out. And then me and Ankit sat at 3 a.m. on one day, and we just kept watching videos on how to latch the baby on, and we just did something. Uh, and then over time, like over the last 3 weeks, it's become easier every day. Like every day I figure out something new, but it has become easier. I think breastfeeding was the biggest part. Apart from that, I think, like, yeah, you get maybe a little less sleep, but I think the moment I see the baby smiling or doing something, like just like taking a yawn, then I think all the tiredness just goes away. So I think it's challenging but very rewarding.
Yeah. It's again such a mix because on one hand it's physically challenging and tiring and all of that, but the rewards are so much. It depends on where you put your attention. So if you're focusing your attention on the joys, then you'll be able to deal with the challenges more easily. And this is actually something that a lot of new parents are not prepared for. No matter how much you've read, no matter how many whatever classes you attended, it is something that you learn on the job. And that's how it is for everyone. Maybe easier for some and harder for some, depending on your luck. But yeah.
I think even postpartum Ankit has been super helpful. Like I think the first week I was just feeding, I was not doing anything else, and Ankit was changing diapers and whatever else needed to be done, and also like protecting me from the family a little bit. Like a lot of people were here, but basically I did not want to speak to a lot of people at that point in time. So he was just ensuring that I get what I need, and the baby's fine. And I think like after 1 week I recovered fairly quickly, and then um, yeah.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you so much. Do you have any top suggestions, advice, tips that you would like to share for anyone who may be watching this?
I think just like every day is new, just take it as it comes. Um, you should prepare obviously, but uh, even then, like all the preparation may not be enough, and you just have to take things as they come. Don't get too anxious or stressed. Yeah, I think the first 2 3 days the baby used to sleep for 3 hours, feed, sleep, feed, sleep. So I was like, oh, this is so easy. And then like 4 days later, it was like, oh no, something new is happening. And then now it's like every day something new is happening, and then now I'm like, it's fine. We'll just manage everything.
Yeah. You have any suggestions, Ankit? For
I
other
think
expecting dads who are watching?
one of my colleagues and friends said this to me when I had asked him for advice, and this was, I think, when Ritika was like maybe 4.5 months pregnant. right? And you always have a lot of advice thrown at you. Like there are too many things that you can do and want to do. But I think one thing that he said really clicked is focus on the mother and just keep the mother happy. So if the mother is happy, if the mother is calm, if the mother is feeling great, then everything else will take care of itself. I think the body has a way of making sure that the baby is fine, the mother is fine, and all of that. So just focus on that, and I think beyond that, I mean, obviously the obvious things you have to do. But if one thing you have to, I mean, if I have to advise or give a tip to other expecting father, is just focus on the mother and not the baby.
Absolutely. I think that that is so amazing because by doing that, you are actually doing everything that you need to. Because the mother is capable of taking care of nurturing the baby. If she is cared for, everything else happens by default. So, yeah, that's amazing. And thank you very much, and all the best to both of you. Your journey has just begun. So, hope
Yeah.
you enjoy it.
Thank you, Neha.
Thanks, Neha.